Dear student, today we'll be starting with Mendelism. There are three aspects of Mendelism. One is study of crosses, the observation and analysis of crosses, and principles that are formulated after the observation. So Mendel, he did so many crosses. We will study what all crosses are there, then how he analyzed his result, and how he come to that conclusion and formulated the principle of genetics. So cross means mating and looking at progeny to study their inheritance on the basis of number of characters. There are two different types of crosses. Here I am only discussing two because we have these two in the syllabus. One is monohybrid and another one is dihybrid cross. Monohybrid cross, here we consider inheritance of only one pair of contrasting character, whereas in dihybrid we consider two pairs of contrasting characters. Now under monohybrid cross, we'll also study what is test cross, back cross, and reciprocal cross. First, you need to understand what is factor. The discrete unit that controls character is called factor. You should know the representation of the character in the genetics. To represent dominant trait, we use capital letter. To represent recessive trait, we use a small letter. For example, the character is height of the plant. The traits are tall and dwarf. So here, capital T we will use for tall to express the tall, you can say, trait, and small t, these are the representation of their genotypes. The small letter of tall, that is a small t, we will use for the dwarf dwarf trait. Okay, so here we will not use D, so you must understand this. The next is how to study the cross. So here basic cross I will take. Let's study now study of cross, that is cross between the two contrasting allelomorphic factors according to the Mendel. Now here first I'll choose the character. So this is monohybrid cross. I'll be choosing one character, height of the plant, and its traits are tall and dwarf, which are represented as discussed. Now we will start. The Mendel started the cross with the pure lines. We have already discussed what are pure lines. So parents are always pure lines. This is what he started the cross. Okay, so pure tall, that is homozygous tall, will be one of the parent, maybe male or female, but here I have considered male. Similarly, pure dwarf is the female. Okay, so here you can see these represent the allelic pair as the factor. They occur in pair as discussed by the Mendel, and they represent the genotype. So the parents, one of the parent will be capital T capital, which represent tall. One of the parent will be small t, which represent the dwarf trait. Okay, so they are the genotypes. Now first understand, this is something we have already covered up in the reproduction. The parents are there, they form the gametes, and the gametes then fuses randomly and produces the offspring. Okay, so parents over here, there are two, and here you can see two sets of chromosomes are there, and the representation of genotypes on the two sets of chromosomes, one from the maternal and one from the paternal. Now when the meiosis occur, what happens? Reduction, division occur, and the formation of gametes occur. So during the gamete formation, all the you can say the allelic pairs they get separated or they segregate. Okay, so the allelic pairs separate and then gametes are formed, and during the random fusion, okay, or fertilization, random fusion means, suppose this is these are the two types, you can say not two gametes but two types of gametes which are produced by the male you can say parent, and these are two types of the gametes which are produced by the female parents. Okay, so these are the possibility of gamete, they are not number of gametes. You should understand this. So when the fusion occurs, let's see what is the possibility. So fusion occurs, fertilization occurs, offspring is produced. This offspring is of first generation, we say first filial generation. So there are 4 different types of hybrid that could be produced by the combination of gametes. So you can see here capital T with one of the male fuses with one of the female, and here you will see 4 different combination, but all 4 are forming similar type of you can say hybrid, that is capital T and small t, and again paired condition is restored. Can you see again, you will see the paired condition. So if you see all the probability is of the offspring with capital T small t genotypes. So the genotype of all these F1 will be capital T small t, and if you look at the phenotype, they were all tall. Okay, so the tall is the dominant. So whatever character is expressed in F1 is called dominant character, whereas whatever is hiding because of the dominant character is called recessive character. So based on this, the Mendel gave law of dominance. In the heterozygous condition, one allele will exclusively express its character, hiding the expression of another allele. The expressed allele is called dominant, while the other one is called recessive. Other one is which one? Whose character is, whose expression is hiding. Okay. Next is the law of segregation. So it states that the allelic pairs separate or segregate during gamete formation, and the paired condition is restored by by random fusion of gamete during fertilization. So here we have seen that they get segregated, the factors get segregated, and again the paired condition is restored during the fertilization. Now come to the F2 generation. So when the two F1 individual are crossed with each other, the F2 that is second filial generation is produced. So if you now here F1 act as a parent, okay, and their genotype are, as they are heterozygous, so the genotypes are the male will and female, since all were capital T small t, so the male and female both will be heterozygous capital T small t. Now the meiosis occur, the gamete formation occur, all the alleles will segregate and they form the gametes. So the male will form these two type of gamete and the female will also form similar kind of gamete. So here they are heterozygous, segregation occurs. And let's see what are 4 different hybrid which are possible after the fusion. So the fusion occurs and you can see 4 different types of hybrids that are produced. So different possibilities are capital T, small t, capital T and T. So if you look at the ratio out of 4, these are 4 types of hybrid. They are not number of hybrid, they are 4 different types which are the probability of formation of hybrid. Okay, so if you look at the probability out of 4 hybrid, 1 will be tall, then 2 will be heterozygous tall, and 1 will be dwarf. So if you look at the genotypic ratio, it will be 1:2:1, and if you calculate the percentage, like 1 out of 4 capital T, capital C, so out of 100 it will account for 25%, heterozygous will account for 50%, and again homozygous recessive will account for 25%. If you see the phenotypic ratio, it will be between tall and dwarf. This will express tall Heterozygous will express tall and this will be dwarf. So tall is to dwarf would be 3:1, that is 75:25%. Now let's see what is Punnett square. The graphical representation in a checkerboard form to calculate the probability of all possible genotype of offspring in a genetic cross is called Punnett square. Now this is very helpful, especially in dihybrid cross, but here I'll give you short explanation in the monohybrid cross. So one side we'll write male gametes, another side we'll write female gametes, and in the squares their combination will represent the squares are filled with the combining gametes. So T and T will form TT. So these are the types of gametes formed. So it is easy to calculate what kind of gamete form. So Punnett square is basically for that. Now what is test cross? It is the cross which is used to determine the genotype in which the unknown genotype is crossed. Suppose we don't know the genotype of one particular individual or any individual, so we want to find out. So how that is to be done? This was again identified by Mendel, and to cross that unknown with the homozygous recessive. So here you can say, suppose unknown, it could be like this, any of 3, and this is homozygous recessive. Now let's see what are the observation by observing the phenotype. If only dominant traits are seen, means unknown is homozygous dominant. If only recessive if the dominant to recessive ratio is 1:1, it is, that means the unknown is heterozygous. If only recessive traits are seen, means the unknown is recessive. So you can, with the help of test cross, we can make out that what is the genotype of a unknown individual. The test cross is also used to estimate recombination frequency, that we will see in next chapter. Now what is back cross? It is a kind of test cross that involves the crossing of individual with one of its parents. So usually this is done by Mendelism. Now it is the quick way of making desirable homozygous animal or plant. For this it is done. And reciprocal cross is the cross between male and female with exchange of genotype. Suppose we started the cross with tall, you can say homozygous tall, which is male, and homozygous female, which is a dwarf. So if you exchange, like if you select female as a homozygous tall and male as a homozygous dwarf, then it will be called as a reciprocal cross. Okay. Now next is we will see the dihybrid cross. Now look at the dihybrid cross here. Here we consider the inheritance of 2 genes. So here I will be considering the 2 genes are coding for different 2 character. One of the gene, let's say height of the plant, codes for height of the plant, another gene codes for the color of the flower. And look at the traits. Height we have already discussed. Flower color we have we can choose white as a dominant and small w as a white as a dominant, so capital W, and small w as a violet. Okay. Now we'll start the cross with the pure lines. You can see over here pure lines. 2 different characters are there. So the parents representation, this is homozygous tall white, this is heterozygous dwarf violet. Okay. Now 2 different genes are there. They are located like this. We just assume they are located like this on the chromosome. So during the gamete formation, the segregation of gene occur, and allelic pair occur, and they get segregated. So the gametes are formed. Different gametes that are formed are TW, in this case capital T and capital W, capital TW and small tw. Okay. And if you look at the F1 hybrid that could be produced, so you will see different you will see different combination, but they all produces the hybrid with same genotype and same phenotype, and that is capital T, small t, capital W, small w, and phenotype all are tall and white. Now let's go for F2. So you will cross F1 into F1. So if you look at, these are heterozygous. Now here if you look at the formation of gametes, during the gamete formation there are 4 different possibility. You can see these two, that capital T, small w, capital T, capital W, small t, capital W, small t, small w. All these possibilities are there with the another parent. One of the parent is male, another one is the female parent. Now we will use Punnett square to find out the combination of gametes. So at one side male gametes are written, at another you can say down the column female gametes are written and their combination. So these two will combine, that is this and this. So T T W W. So T T W W, then this and this combination T T W W. You understood? So with this if you do, and here you will see the phenotypic ratio. Now wherever you will see capital T, that means the tall will express according to the law of dominance, the tall will express its effect. Whereas if you see capital W, that means white will be expressed according to law of dominance. Now if you look at this tall violet, here capital W is missing, so the violet will be expressed. The recessive gene will only be expressed in the homozygous condition. That means the dominant, when dominant gene is allele is missing. Okay, so if you look at here, dwarf white, capital T is not there, so this will be dwarf white. If you look at here, dwarf violet, capital T and capital W both are missing. So if you see the phenotypic ratio, it will be 9:3:3:1, that is tall white to tall violet to tall dwarf white and dwarf violet. Whereas if you look at the genotypic ratio, it will be little complex, like 1:2:2:4:1:1:2:1. So we are not going in detail of that. So according to law of independent assortment, it states that when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation and inheritance of one pair of character or trait is independent of the other pair or character. It implies that separation of gene pair on the given pair of chromosome and the distribution of the gene in gamete during meiosis are entirely independent of the distribution of other gene pair or the other pairs of chromosome. What does that mean? If you look at here, then you will see all the combinations are there. Means one allelic pair is what? One allelic pair over here is small capital T capital T. Another allelic pair is capital W capital W. Okay, so these two allelic pair are not interacting with each other in any case, because here you will see their expression are not hiding with each other. There is interaction between the allelic pair, small t and capital T, that you can see, but there is no interaction between T and W. The T is inheriting its in own way, and the color of the flower is inheriting their alleles are alleles are inheriting in their own way. So hence you are able to see different combination. There is tall plant with violet flower. There are you can say dwarf plant with violet flower and dwarf with white flowers. So you'll see all possible combination because they are not interacting. The two allelic pair are not interacting with each other. So this is called law of independent assortment. Now next we will continue in part 3. Thank you.